Speak the truth always, even if it leads to your death. Safeguard the helpless and do no wrong. That is your oath. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Today we're going to look at some updated GAC counters for this season. Like I promised, I went and looked at the percentages of a lot of different kind of tricky counters. Obviously I can't look at all of them, but I do have a few of them and I'm excited to share those with you. First, I do want to shout out my patrons. You guys are amazing and I couldn't do this without you at all. Thank you guys so much for everything. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. I really couldn't do this without you. And guys, if you want to support this channel for free, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Let's mount the algorithm. It's time, folks. It's algorithm mounting season. What are you gonna do? If you're snowed inside, there's plenty of time for those kinds of activities. They're fun. I'm sure you'll think they're fun. Let's get to it. So Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano here. So this is without the Fulcrum Cron. All right, there's two different versions of the team right now, and I guess you could put bays with them as well, but I didn't look at that. That was fairly uncommon. So win percentages, it looks like Leia is pretty firmly entrenched here as the counter, and typically you want to use Jyn and AdRad. That's kind of the best comp that's kind of coming out for the Leia teams. If it doesn't have Fulcrum at least, then having AdRad and Jyn there are going to be kind of the best versions. Like you can use the kind of older, or I don't even know if you'd call it older, but the more commonly accepted one with Captain Rex and Old Ben. Like it's not terrible, but it's also not super consistent against like the prescribed Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano squad. Also, surprisingly, folks, I mean, I did my video on it and I stand by that it felt very, very easy. And this is how things work when you make these kinds of videos. Sometimes it feels like you're going, like it's just, oh yeah, that's gonna win every time. It's just gonna win every time, and that's what I thought it was with Sid the Eternal Emperor and Cad Bane and just Darth Bane, that Cad. But I thought it felt so easy, and the other times I saw other people do it, it seemed really easy, and it turns out it's a 56% counter. Now, I do think that maybe part of the reason those numbers are that low is because people don't know who to link. People don't realize that you don't link Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano, you're supposed to link Ezra and Sabine first. And because you have Bane on your team, you can ignore the taunt from Fulcrum. So even though she's targeted by default, you can switch the targeting. My guess is that the counter goes up significantly percentage-wise from that, but I also know that some people have reported losing it even after linking those two. And so I don't know exactly what to tell you other than that's an option if your Leia counter fails or if you want to be a little risky. So anyways, I just thought it was kind of funny, like Jedi Master Kenobi, Jedi Master Luke. Clearly Ahsoka's disdain of the Jedi is legitimate because they can't beat her. I love that Kenobi is kept to less than 1% after 200 attempts. What a crazy stat that is, folks. That is pure madness. Maybe there are other comps that would make it better. I don't know, like maybe take Padme off. I'm not sure, but just a completely crazy thing. I mean, because Kat doesn't do anything. She can't insta kill anyone. She's just kind of left impotent. The other one that I wanted to point out here, folks, and this is, you guys, my face is blocking the team, but it's the same one that you guys see above for the Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano team. The Troopers team that everyone was saying like, oh yeah, this works every time, it's pretty sure. And to be clear, a couple of the people who told me about the comp and like showed me how to do it, I'm gonna try it this week anyways, by the way, but they definitely were like, I don't think this is gonna be 100%, but one way or another it looks like it's somewhere around 50% if you get all the stuff right. which isn't great. It's not great. It's cool, I guess, if you want to do it. It's a novelty, but it's not great. Okay, so Galactic Legend with Fulcrum here. And of course, there's just different versions of the Fulcrum team, because who do you take out? I left Ezra in as the default baseline thing because, frankly, guys, you need to keep, if you have Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano on defense, put Ezra with her. All the counters go up like 20 to 30% higher if you don't have Ezra. Ezra is absolutely essential for her defending against different things. So Leia seems like she keeps her win percentage about the same, right around 90%. Sith Eternal with Bane, look at that. So it changes a little bit. It's still not great against teams with Fulcrum, but if you add Hera to the team instead, like if you take Hera or keep Hera and you take Hu Yang out, then it's a stronger team, at least against the Eternal Bane, than if you keep Hu Yang in instead. So I thought that was interesting. And then if you take Sabine out, somehow that's even worse for you. Somehow Hu Yang and Hera make it a lot better. Now, let me turn off my face for just a sec, just so you guys can see the team comps. Now, there's a Kenobi squad that beats Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano with Fulcrum. Wow, that's amazing. Oh wait, who's missing? Ezra. Ezra is who's missing. And then if you do the exact same team against a team with Ezra, it goes down to 0% after 21 attempts. 0 wins. Absolutely. So just to drive home the point, guys, if you have GLAT, Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano, then keep Ezra on the team. All right. This is actually somewhat of a defensive teams video as well, folks. So like the Great Mothers team, all of the different team comps out there show different counters for this. And I mean, obviously the various effects and stuff. There's a couple that show a kind of weaker version of the Great Mothers. Like if you don't have Dark Trooper Peridia or Night Trooper, which is understandable, they're still fairly new characters, then your team isn't the best on defense. Oh, hold on, that was epic. Guys, go check out my Warhammer 40k channel, by the way. I just did a great job at a huge tournament. Go check it out, folks. It's linked in the video description. I could use a couple more subscribers. We're at like 800 something. Get me to 1,000. I would truly appreciate that, actually. Thank you, guys. Didn't mean to advertise myself there, but there it is. Please, it would really help me out a lot. It really would. Anyways, so I was trying to turn my face off here. Look at the comp there under the second General Skywalker comp. Like, so people are taking, and so everyone's got Spirit, everyone's got that sounds like a cheerleading thing, Spirit. But okay, so if people are taking Acolyte and Talia, that's like the second most common version of the team, then that team is way worse than the Trooper with Trooper team. Like, adding the 2 zombie troopers makes this squad a whole lot better. And so interestingly, we tried this a couple times last week. The Malgus team won a huge amount of times. You can see its win percentage is almost perfect. And the Darth Revan team, which felt so much easier and so much just nicer, frankly, got a way lesser win percentage. However, it does win more. Oh no, it doesn't actually. Now that I'm looking at this, I took okay, so you get more banners and you win more percentage wise if you do the Darth Malgus squad. Who knew, guys? So Darth Malgus lead in 3v3. I still think, I'm assuming anyways, I don't remember what the numbers are. I'm assuming Darth Revan lead is still the better answer for the Night Sisters, but one way or another, if for right now, if people are placing Great Mothers on defense using Malgus lead, it feels bad. It really does, because usually your Malgus dies. That's probably why the average is right at 62, because Malgus, it takes such a long time to do that your Malgus goes down to 1 hit point and then he dies. But then you win pretty easily after that. I've done it before and it felt bad. I was like, okay, we're using Darth Revan from now on. And I didn't have a problem using Darth Revan, but that makes sense because 86% can happen a couple times in a row and it feels good. It's a lot faster. You just lose more banners apparently. So apparently Traya is also a really good counter now. Traya turns out to be a counter to like all these non-galactic legend teams. And then General Skywalker, I thought that was an interesting one. This one's like a desperation heave, like, okay, he can win sometimes here, but he's not going to be that consistent unless you're using a lesser team. Like the troopers make this team a lot better. And then, okay, the one that people were barraging me with, people are like, dude, watch Arnold's video, and this isn't shaded Arnold, don't try to make anything about me saying bad things about Arnold. I just know that he accomplished this. I think it was him. He's done a couple cool counters lately, actually. But people saying, oh yeah, it's 100% just because he did it once. And of course, people draw wrong conclusions all the time. And I'm not even saying he did. I'm just saying because it's on the internet, people are going to take it as fact. Using Qui-Gon to kill Great Mothers is apparently just novelty, and it's cool, and it would be awesome if it worked every time, but it doesn't work every time, and it's a bad win percentage. This is the best win percentage I could find, 45%. Really 46 if you want to be pedantic, but and then if you take Mace out, because Mace is nice because he dispels all the stealth, right? So and he can reduce the max health and defense of people, so you know he's going to be a better addition to the Qui-Gon team. It's still not a consistent counter, guys. I would not recommend this if you want to play anywhere approaching efficient. You can gamble, of course, but that's up to you. Now, the thing is, everyone wants to use Cad Bane. I keep wanting to call him that. Bane. Everyone wants to use Darth Bane to counter all these other cool things, and I don't blame them. He's an amazing character. He kills Queen Amidala pretty efficiently, right? So, first off, the question is, which comp is better? People have been telling me, like, dude, you have to use the Grandmaster Yoda comp with Shaak Ti. Apparently, Shaak Ti is just automatically on all of the good Queen Amidala teams. What I've discovered, though, is every single comp, every single counter that tries to take out Queen Amidala is made worse, the percentage-wise is made worse by adding Echo from Bad Batch. Bad Batch Echo is better than Grandmaster Yoda here, folks. So add Grandmaster, or take out Grandmaster Yoda, unless you're my opponent, then place him on your teams. It looks like Traya beats this team, except not that consistently if Echo's on the team. Bane just beats it all versions. General Skywalker, that's something everyone says is such a good winning team against the squad. It goes way down if you're facing the Echo version of it. And then also Inquisition are made worse by Echo as well. So what we're gonna do, actually, let's skip to the next slide here, and we'll just combine all of, like, we're just gonna look at Echo versions, all right, the Echo comps here. So those are the ones you just saw. I just took all the other ones out. And then okay, so Great Mothers apparently counter this at like a 71% win rate, right? Well, only if it's against Grandmaster Yoda and not Echo. Echo just ruins that team completely, and it's a decent sample size, actually. So sorry, I couldn't resist. And then Bo-Katan also just doesn't really work that well. I could have sorted it. I could have spent more time, but chopping it into little pieces, like, it's already at 28 battles. It's a low sample size, but if you chop it into little pieces of, like, oh, does she have her second Omicron? Does she, like, I'm sure that increases her win rate, but 42%, even with all the data combined, I guarantee some people tried it with that Omicron and didn't bring that percentage too far up. And chopping it into smaller pieces is going to reduce the sample size to the point of you not being like that usable. And so really, like, you can use, like, Kenobi, like Jedi Master Kenobi, to beat the team. You can use, like, Supreme Leader Kylo's a fairly low win percentage. This is still a team you want to just use Bane on. Honestly, guys, there's not another team that's like, oh yeah, that'll win every time. Like, it's General Skywalker, I guess go for it. I mean, it makes sense why you could beat that team, and why Grandmaster Yoda would make that comp way worse, or way easier, because of all the buffs going out, but because it buffs the General Skywalker team. But one way or another, this is it's just fascinating to see. This team is still rock solid on defense if you add Echo. Okay, Baylan Skoll on defense. Now a lot of people are keeping him for offense, and I don't blame them. And the question is still who's going to be better as the fifth member. I think Hondo, it appears that Hondo is just the better fourth. Like the fourth best character on the Baylan team on defense is going to be Hondo. And then I was surprised to see that Kira made quite a few appearances on the best of list, and she actually reduces the win rate on a few different teams, like Inquisition. I had no issues using Inquisition against Baylan, but it was against that L3 comp with Kira. Apparently the win rate is lower. It's probably still somewhat consistent at least, but one way or another Kira does make that team better somehow. It's very interesting. And then of course Bane, he beats all versions of this team pretty well. And then people always tell me guns work every time against it. No, they don't. They just really don't. So thank you for playing, but they don't. And that's including the Kira comp and the L3 comp. Kira, they actually beat Kira more often than they beat L3. So there we go. There's not one specifically like universally better comp. It's just always use Hondo and then Kira or L3, it looks like. Most people just use Supreme Leader Kylo to beat this team, and I'm not surprised that it had that win rate. I destroyed that team as well with Kylo. It was not close. But now that we have Pointy Teeth Ray, PTR, as they say on the internet, he's his use case is going to be way different than just sniping out Baylan Skoll teams. All right, finally we have Leia with Fulcrum, and then I'll show you with Leia with AdRad. So here's something interesting I discovered. Bane with Sith Eternal Lead is actually worse than just using Bane with Sith Empire Trooper. Also, Sith Empire Trooper, this was surprising to me, and this is all me just admitting my own faults and everything. Bane with Sith Empire Trooper is just pretty consistent. Oh, somewhat consistent against Leia. Look, I mean, 77% isn't like super consistent, but it's good enough that you can use that as your primary counter if you're okay with having to clean it up or have some kind of backup option to beat it. Sith Eternal Emperor with Bane is apparently just worse than Bane lead, which is hilarious to me. And now this is with Fulcrum, of course. So Fulcrum teams are expected to be a little bit stronger with Leia, and they are, I think. And Inquisition are really not consistent at all against this, even with their cool Kron. Leia teams seem to be the most consistent, just using AdRad and Jyn as the main character, as the main like 4 and 5 on the team. You're gonna have a pretty big win percentage even against the Leia teams with Fulcrum on them. Now without Fulcrum, if they have AdRad and Jyn, which is what I found to be the second best version, Sith Eternal Emperor is still way worse with Bane than if you just use Bane and Sith Empire Trooper. And then just for flavor, I added, look at how impotent poor old Jedi Master Luke and Jedi Master Kenobi are. I mean, 61% for Kenobi. I mean, that's all right, but it's not. Gosh, you're gonna lose like half of your fights. Terrible. Look at how if you don't have Fulcrum on the team though, Inquisition go up way higher win rate wise. And then the Leia, if you want to do the Leia mirror with AdRad and Jyn, apparently has a 100% win rate though, only 10 total attempts lately. So I mean, that's a small sample size, but a 100% win rate is that speaks pretty strongly, I think. So anyways, that's it. That's all I've got for you folks. What are your thoughts? Have you found any other counters and comps that I've missed that are really consistent? I would love to hear it from you guys. Let me know in the comments, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails. Go check out the 40K channel, folks. Even if you're not actually going to watch the videos, it would help me to get my sub numbers up. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.